I moved up in 1953. It wasn't a family farm. Land was bare. There was nothing on it. And I started from there in the Lowveld. And in '68, I moved up to the Missouri Valley. I eventually ended up with 14 farms in Zimbabwe, right up to Centenary. And I was 2 weeks there and 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
It was an interesting life. I had 10 managers and I had about 1,000 laborers working for me. I had an office in Harare.
And I think everybody that's watching this is going to say, now we think we know what's going to happen. They expropriated those farms.
No, they did not expropriate it. Look,
what actually happened?
Look, there was a land reform policy from 1980, which was fair and I had no problem with it. In actual fact, half the land that I owned, I bought after 1980. And I got title deeds from Mr. Mugabe's government himself. And every one of them were highly productive.
So what happened then? How did you lose these farms?
Look, like all politicians, he lost a referendum in 1998. I think it was 1998. And then he said to the people, look, it's not me that's at fault, but you people are battling. Those people stole your land 100 years ago. Go and take it. So I've still got all the title deeds.
So they took your farms away, and did you go to the South African government and say, please help me, I'm a South African citizen?
Look, we won all the court cases in Zimbabwe itself. And then in 2002, a friend of mine, Andries Botha, Sandra Botha's husband, he was in Parliament here, and I said, man, can you ask the government, what are they going to do about the South Africans that property has been targeted in Zimbabwe? And he wrote a letter, he wrote a question to the then Minister of Foreign Affairs, Zuma. And she answered him. She said they did the following, and there's about 4 or 5 steps that she said they took, and then it normalized. But that wasn't true. But then she said, if South African citizens' property would be targeted, they would ensure the security and safety of all South African citizens, their companies, etc., etc. And when I got that answer, I started writing to Mbeki for 5 years. And it was from this minister to that minister, and then eventually I went to the lawyers and said, but haven't I got a case? And that's how we won twice in the High Court of Gauteng and twice in the Constitutional Court. And then the government appealed on both. Look, there was the first court
case. The South African government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first court case was whether the South African government did its duty towards me as a citizen. And the court found it no. So then we said, and after 2 years, then we had to go to the Constitutional Court because the president was also, he was also summoned. We've summoned five ministries. And for the president, we had to go to the Constitutional Court. So the Constitutional Court said, no, the president can't be summoned because it would mean everything ends with him, which is actually true. But then they also said, because the government did not appeal to that first
hearing,
that thing stands unquestionable. And then we went to the court again and said, but now you found them guilty. Surely they're liable for my losses. And we won again. And then the government appealed, but not on that one verdict, on the other one that was 2 years old, which the Constitutional Court said it stands unblemished. I spoke to my lawyers and they said they've got no chance to get appeal on the first one. They got appeal. The judge found the government guilty on all aspects, that she said it was just theoretical. Then my lawyers and advocates said, but this is the case for the Constitutional Court. Constitutional Court wrote 4 lines and said it wouldn't take it any further.
They refused to listen to it.
Yes. So I asked him, now, what now? And he said, if they say the wall is white, it's white. It's not a question of the land that I lost, but on principle, I feel I was not done. I was done. It's not right.
So you're not prepared to stop at this. You're still at it, aren't you?
I'm still at it.
What's your latest?
We're planning to go to the African Union, for what it's worth.